right, let's go ahead and get started. So thanks everybody for hopping on. Today I'm going to talk about using ScarletCanvas, which is kind of an outward-facing platform for education that OSU uses for county coordinator and assistant instructor certifications. Okay, so just a little bit about what we're going to cover today. I'm just going to talk a little bit about using ScarletCanvas, logging in, how you get registered for this course, and then I'm going to walk through the requirements of the training, different modules that you guys will have to complete, quizzes, and a pledge. So I'm going to go through this as an assistant instructor. First, county coordinators, if you're on, it's very similar to the assistant instructor. There's just one extra piece that I'll talk about that you guys are required to do at the end. So I'm going to switch my share to this one here. Okay, so this, when you guys get registered for this course, we do that on OSU's end, and then you will get like a standardized email from ScarletCanvas inviting you to, if you don't already have an account, to create one. If you have an account already, like if your child did Skillathon, you may need to give me a different email because it will corrupt the data if I use, like if I try to change your name in the system. So it's best to use a completely unique email to you. It'll get you to this page or a page very similar where you'll create your username, which is generally your email, and then create your password. And then once you do that, you should be able to log in. If for some reason you guys don't get a ScarletCanvas email when you initially register, when we put that through the system, I also email everybody on my list that's supposed to be in ScarletCanvas as an assistant instructor. So if you get my email and you don't get the email from ScarletCanvas inviting you to register, you just need to reach out to me and we'll get you fixed up. Sometimes, especially with school emails, if your school has certain blocks on their servers, our emails don't always get through. So just something to keep in mind there. So it'll bring you to a page that looks like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the student view. So this is what it'll look like for you. So you guys don't have to worry about the back end stuff that I work on. So the first page is just kind of, welcome to the training, a reminder to check with your county coordinator to see when their deadline is for you to complete this training, because this is something that's open till about the end of April, so that as counties start training assistant instructors, this is available to them. We do add individuals on a monthly basis. So I'll send out an email to all the county coordinators and 4-H professionals and just ask, by the 25th of this month, for the assistant instructors you want added for December, please send me the list, by this date. Assistant instructors, if you guys are on here and you haven't been added to the course and you need to recertify or you want to recertify, you just need to reach out to your county coordinator, which is generally your 4-H professional in your county, because the email, your information to be added to this course has to come to me from them. Okay. So again, this message just kind of does a brief synopsis of the different modules that we're going to look at, and just reminding you about some quiz things that I'm going to go over more in detail here in a minute. Something important, you can do this all at once, or you can log in or log out and log back on later. Okay, so you can do this over a period of days, weeks, just keeping in mind when you have to have it done by for your county. Okay, but just do not log out during a quiz. Okay, the quizzes are timed, which again we're going to go over in a minute, but that time won't stop if you log out, if that makes sense. Okay, so once you click start, it's going to take you to the module pages. Okay, so modules are grouped into several different things. Okay, so we've grouped them into the good production practices that we tend to teach together by year. So for example, this year we're focusing on 2, 4, and 5. Last year we did 1, 3, and 6. Year before we did 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so that's why they're organized this way. Okay, you'll see that these are grayed out because you can't access them yet, because one of the prerequisites for these modules is going through the Ohio Youth QA Basics first. So as you go through these, you'll see a lot of rules and regulations and policies, some quick facts and commonly asked questions that we get. So as you scroll through these pages, you know, you're going to read these things. And then when you're done and you feel confident in the information that you've read, you're going to go to the end and you're going to take the quiz. Okay. So I'm going to randomly take it. So I'm not actually paying attention to too much to the answers, just as an FYI. And then you're going to submit quiz. So again, you have 20 minutes to take that. And you also have 3 attempts. Okay, so you have to get 80% on all of these quizzes to pass. All right. So I got a 3 out of 5, which would be a 60%. So I would have to take this quiz again, okay, and get up to the 80% in order to pass this section. But once that quiz is taken, it does open up these other modules. So if you go back to modules here, you can see that these have opened up now that you've taken that quiz. You didn't necessarily have to get a passing score on it to open these others, but I really recommend that you get that 80% on that quiz before you move on. So again, quizzes need at least 80% to pass. You have 3 attempts and they're timed. So depending on the difficulty level of the questions and how many there are, that time can range from 20 minutes to 45 minutes to take it. So more than enough. None of these quizzes have more than 10 questions. Just some of them have multiple parts. So that's why we put those time limits in there. So again, should be way more than enough time to get that done. So when we get into our GPPs, modules and pages, it's going to be a mix of reading, intro videos, pictures and illustrations throughout. This is, you know, just the basic curriculum that we expect you guys to be versed in to teach these things. So as you go through, again, they're grouped kind of by how we teach them. So 1, 3, and 6 are in a module with a quiz, and those questions will refer to the topics in GPPs 1, 3, and 6. Okay. If you want to just see your quizzes, you can go to the quiz page, and all the quizzes are outlined right here. So if you get back, you log back in, you just want to go straight to a quiz, you can do that this way. The module page will have everything. So once you go through these and you pass all these quizzes with that 80%, you have an assistant instructor quality assurance pledge, okay, which I'm going to go over in a minute. I'm going to leave the student view so I can just access that real quick without doing all the quizzes. But I also wanted to point out that you can see your grades. If you go through here, you can easily access. If you don't remember what you got on the last one, you can always go to the grade page, okay? All right. So for this last one here, I just wanted to point out what the quality assurance pledge is. This is made as a quiz, but if you don't pass it, there might be a problem. It's not actual quiz questions. It's basically agreeing to abide by our volunteer behavior standards, as well as conduct QA sessions that meet our requirements and understanding some key concepts on what we expect as far as QA sessions go. Okay. So this isn't testing your knowledge. This is just you agreeing to things. So you should get 100% on this. And then that is the last step in your certification process. So reading through those modules, getting 80% or higher on all those quizzes. As the instructor on this page, I can go to the grades, see the grades for everybody. And once all those requirements are met, I will update a list that's your county coordinators can access showing that you've passed. And if you have any questions on stuff, you can always email me. Like I said, I'll email everybody on the listserv that gets added to these courses. So you'll have my email and contact information and can easily reach out. All right. I'm just going to go through this real quick. Teresa asked, will county coordinators receive a copy of the email sent to assistant instructors that they sign up so we know when it was sent? I can absolutely do that. If you guys, as county coordinators, would like a copy of that, I can CC every county who has sent me people for that month. And if you guys did send me assistant instructors by the October 25th date, that email was sent last week. So just as a heads up, if anybody already had people added. Are there any questions on this before I move on just to the overview of county coordinator stuff? I promise this wouldn't be a long session, but just wanted kind of a place for you guys to be able to ask questions and kind of see what the course looks like. Man, it's not even the lunch hour. You guys are quiet. Did I do that good a job? All right, well, we'll move on to the county coordinator training. Okay, so if you are a county coordinator, odds are you're a 4-H professional in your county. So a couple things for this. The deadline to complete this training is December 1st because I don't want this open year round because a lot of us will start to teach QA around December, January. So this just ensures that everybody's up to date. You know, if a 4-H professional comes into a county in January or February and is brand new, obviously we're going to make an exception to this and we can get them trained quickly. But just unless organized with me ahead of time, December 1st is the deadline to complete this particular training. So it's very similar to the assistant instructor course. All of the modules are the same, except for one, all the expectations are the same. So 80% on each of the quizzes, 3 attempts to do that. When we look at the modules, the ones that are for animal welfare and ethics, food safety and government relations, 1, 3, and 6, 2, 4, and 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10, those are going to be identical to what you saw in the assistant instructor training. For county coordinators, there are more policies. As far as, changes for this year, options for counties to employ, whether it's BQA in person or PQA, YQCA. The reason those are just in the county coordinators training is because as a county, that's your decision to implement those or not. So that just gives you kind of a background in what I expect you to know as far as the options for your counties. Obviously work with your county to see, what works best for you. The quality assurance pledge is specific to county coordinators, but again, very similar, just doesn't have the volunteer standards in there because odds are you're an employee. And then the last thing that's different are these Zoom session quizzes. So on top of doing all of this, county coordinators are expected to either attend one of the Zoom sessions over the next 2 weeks that we started yesterday, or watch the recordings of those Zooms and then take a quiz on that. Okay, so for example, we did engaging youth in livestock projects in GPP2 yesterday. So the cloud recording is up. So it's I am going to polish these before I post these links officially, but you can watch the Zoom recording, or if you just want to watch it to refresh, and then you have 3 attempts to get 80% or higher on the quizzes associated with those recordings, okay? So for this one, there are 5 questions, okay? So those are just examples. There's not going to be any more than 5 questions on these quizzes, but they ask questions that pertain that you would have to listen and pay attention to get the answers to. So those are the big differences there. but that pretty much is the gist of these programs and how they would run. So again, county coordinators, this is how you're going to be recertified this year. If you need it, or if you want to be recertified, you're welcome to volunteer and just let me know that you want to be added to the course to get that done. Assistant instructors, that course is an option. So if you as a county still want to have in-person sessions, you're welcome to do that. You don't have to use this online course. You're also welcome to use the online course to get like the, the standard statewide information to them. And then, you could meet with them and just go over county specific information. So really it's just an extra tool for you guys to utilize to get people trained. And it's kind of nice that as assistant instructors, you guys can log in and log out and, kind of do it at your leisure. So the certifications on this course are the same as they were before. So once you certify, you're good for 3 years. Does anybody have any questions or concerns, or if you guys are already in the system, have you tried logging in and had any issues? Again, I know some of our school emails can pose an issue with this course. Okay, so county coordinators and assistant instructors, once you're certified, you're going to have access to Buckeye Box. It's a kind of an online sharing platform that we've got. And with that's going to come all of the information from the trainings that we've had this year, all those Zoom meetings. So, all the activities, the tips for teaching online QA sessions, things like that. All of the trainings have been recorded. I am going to post, like I said here, I posted the Zoom links for the quizzes here, but I am going to wait until those sessions are done because every session is taught twice. We're going to pick which one the presenters like the best, and then I'm going to edit that and post it to YouTube. So you guys will have access to those YouTube links to use in trainings in your county, or just to watch yourself when you have time. Okay, so that's going to be kind of how we're going to put all that information in one place. All right, well, if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm not going to keep you. Again, for those of you that already got your email from me saying, hey, you've been added to the course, I am going to email everybody again with the recording of this by no later than tomorrow morning, so that you guys, if you have questions once you get into it, you can refer back to that video, or you can email me directly, and I'm happy to work with you guys as much as you need. Okay, so definitely meant to be an easy process, so we'll work through any tech challenges together. But yeah, other than that, thanks for hopping on, guys. I hope you enjoy the system as much as I enjoyed building it.